Good morning everyone. Welcome to Ojaswata S Academy. So we are trying to cover current affairs in the form of MCQs for helping you in the upcoming exam of UPSC Prelims 2020. So today we will discuss the MCQs of 2nd May. But before that, let's see what are the topics which we are going to discuss today. So here is the index is given. These are the 10 topics which we will discuss in today's lecture. And please do take a pause when you see question on the screen, answer it first and then see the explanation part and try to get at least 7 questions correct out of 10. Also you can adjust the speed of the video where you feel comfortable. So work hard, be consistent, regularly watch our videos and let's start our today's topic. So question number 1 is, which of the following are factors that trigger a demand for direct monetization? First, fiscal deficit. Second, surge in demand. Third, lack of liquidity. So fiscal deficit is a reason. Also lack of liquidity also a reason, but surge in demand is not a reason. So option will be B, that is 1 and 3rd only. So due to lockdown and economic slowdown, the fiscal deficit of both central and state government is expected to grow up to around 15% of GDP, and to cope up, the possibility of direct monetization is being explored. And in direct monetization, the government asks RBI to print new currency notes to infuse capital in the market and with people, and in lieu of printing new cash, RBI gets government bonds which carry the government's promise to pay back the designated sum at a specified date. And direct monetization is done when there is extreme lack of liquidity in the market and banking system. There is lack of demand from consumers, not surge in demand, and if there isn't enough money in the market for the government to borrow. And direct monetization is different from indirect monetizing, where RBI conducts the open market operations or purchase bonds in the secondary market. Don't get confused between direct monetization and indirect monetization. Now question number 2 is, consider the following statements regarding the latest military expenditure reports of Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. First, India holds 5th position globally in terms of military expenditure. Second, India has increased its military expenditure in 2019 as compared to 2018. So your statement first is incorrect, second is correct, so option will be B, that is second only. So as per the report, US, China and India are the top 3 most military spenders in 2019. That's why statement first was incorrect, because India is top 3 or at 3rd place when it comes to military spending. And the top 3 military spenders account to 62% of the world military expenditure, and it is the first time in a history of the report that 2 Asian countries have occupied the top position, that is China and India. And in 2019, India has spent 71.1 billion US dollar over its military, which is 6.8% higher as compared to 2018. So statement second was correct. Now question number 3 is, consider the following statement with reference to Basaveshwara. First, Basaveshwara was a Tamil poet and social reformer of 12th century. Second, he is the founding saint of the Lingayat sect. So here statement first is incorrect and second is correct. So option will be B, that is second only. And statement first is incorrect because Basaveshwara, though a social reformer and a philosopher, but he was Kannada poet, not Tamil poet, and he belongs to 12th century, and he was during the reign of Kalachuri dynasty king Bijalla I in Karnataka, and he was the founding saint of Lingayat sect, and his propagated principles include Arivu, that is true knowledge, Achara, which means right conduct, and Anubhava, which means divine experience, and he was a proponent of Kalyan Rajya, that is welfare state for all the citizens, and he introduced new public institutions such as Anubhav Mandapa, and his literary works include the Vachana Sahitya written in Kannada language. Now question number 4 is with reference to white tigers. First, they are the subspecies of Royal Bengal tigers. Second, they have a white fur due to the lack of pigment pheomelanin. So statement first is incorrect, second is correct. So option will be again B, that is second only. And the white tigers or bleached tiger is a pigmentation variant of the Royal Bengal tiger, and they are not a subspecies of tiger but a Bengal tigers with genetic defect that expresses a different color. That's why statement first was incorrect, and this happens due to lack of pigment pheomelanin which is found in Bengal tigers. Now question number 5 is who among the following led the Khudai Khidmatgar movement against British occupation of the Indian subcontinent? So the correct answer is he was Abul Ghaffar Khan. So option will be B. So this movement was non-violent movement against the British occupation of the Indian subcontinent, and it was led by Abul Ghaffar Khan, was a Pashtun freedom fighter in the northwest frontier province, and he opposed partition in the form of Khudai Khidmatgar and were not in favor of creation of independent nation of Pakistan. But following these protests in the Kiza Khwani Bazar in Peshawar, British army vehicles drove into the crowd, killing several protesters and bypassers. And the context is that April 23rd was recently observed as 98th Remembrance Day of Kiza Khwani Bazar massacre. Now question number 6 is recently mutual funds in news. So consider the following statement. First, these are informally managed investment fund. Second, it pools money from many investors to purchase securities. Third, not all investment funds are mutual funds. Fourth, mutual funds are compulsory registered with the SEBI. Here the incorrect statement is statement first, so option will be B. And statement first is incorrect because it is not informally managed but it is professionally managed investment fund. And here is the cyclic process of mutual fund is given, like investors pool their money with fund manager and fund manager invest in securities, and then securities generates returns and these returns pass back to the investors. So this is a cyclic process in which mutual funds work. Also, small fees also charged for managing the money. These are the ideal investment vehicle for regular investors who don't know much about investing. Now question number 7 is why is the COVID-19 death rate higher in some countries than other? Consider the following statement. First, testing rates have been different in different countries. Second, one of these factors is demography of the country. Third, varying strength and capacity of healthcare system. As we have to find out incorrect statement, but all the given statements are correct, so option will be D, that is none of the above. So more aggressive testing identifies more asymptomatic infected people and people with milder, less noticeable symptoms, which is very much in news regarding COVID-19 infection. And as a general principle, any virus poses a greater threat to those with weaker immunities, and a vast majority of deaths from COVID-19 have been of people with comorbidity condition. And countries like Italy or Spain show their hospitals overwhelmed and unable to adequately care for the flood of patients. These are some of the additional information. Now question number 8 is recently flattening of economic growth curve was in news. So how can its unflattening be ensured? First, announcement of fiscal relief package. Second, increased taxes on rich people. Here both the given statements are correct, so option will be C. So more the government allows the economic crisis to deepen, the more complicated and indeed costly will it to get to unflatten the curve of economic growth. Because in order to flattening the curve of COVID-19 infections, there is fear of flattening of curve of economic activities as well. And countries are witnessing the dilemma of trade-off between physical and financial health. And both are very necessary for any of the countries. Now question number 9 is in the context of Indian art and culture, Gatka refers to which of the following? So correct answer is it is martial art of Punjab. Option will be C. So here is the image is given, and it is a traditional martial art which is associated with Sikhism, and the Punjabi name Gatka properly refers to the wooden stick used, and the new style applied the sword fighting techniques to the wooden training sticks. Meaning nowadays in place of stick sometimes swords are also being used, and Gatka's theory and techniques were taught by Sikh gurus. Now question number 10 is Latvia shares border with which of the following? So the correct answer is it shares border with Estonia, Belarus and Russia. So option will be D, that is all of the above. And here is the map is given. You can see, and nearby Latvia there is Gulf of Riga. And if you will able to remember its capital, that is Riga, you will be able to remember Gulf of Riga as well. So Latvia shares border with Estonia, Lithuania, Russia, Belarus and a maritime border with Sweden. So that's all in our today's MCQs. Hope you guys are liking the lecture. And a question for you is that who is known as Frontier Gandhi of India? Question number 1. And question second is where is the headquarters of Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, that is SIPRI, which we have discussed in question number 2. So please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates of the videos. If you want to contact us, you can contact through the given details. You can also ask information regarding UPPSC examination and its test series. So stay safe, stay healthy, have a nice day and thank you.